Good morning. Welcome to my studio. I'm going to talk about framing mosaics today and share with you some things I know. It's not all there is to know and may not even be the best there is to know. It's just what I've learned along the way, and I'll offer it to you in case you might find it useful. So framing mosaics, there's a lot of options, and I found that Ouija board is kind of a constant challenge for new mosaic artists, and even not so new. It's a challenging substrate to frame, and there are some others as well. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about my experience with these things. Over the years, I have come to not want to permanently marry a mosaic artwork to a frame. So I've evolved and found varying ways to deal with that, and I'll tell you about that. First, I want to share something with you because it was nice for me to find this. I've been putting together a beginner mosaic class, making these little decorative mirrors. This is an 8" by 8" mirror, 4" by 4" with a nice 2" decorative frame around it. And for my materials list, I kind of wanted to have an option for a frame, but the frames are just a little too expensive. I found these frames at Dick Blick Art Supply. They are sold in economy packs of 6. I don't think they go very large in size, but they did have, for an 8" by 8" mosaic or artwork, these are intended, I'm guessing, for canvases, which are very lightweight. And my little pieces here are pretty lightweight, so I gave them a try. I ordered some, and I was pretty happy with them. They work out to be about $8 a frame, including shipping. So let me tell you how I've handled them. Like I said, this is 8" by 8". This one is on Ouija board. So let's take a look at the back of this frame. I've painted the Ouija board black, and these do have sawtooth hangers. I don't recommend sawtooth hangers, and I've never used them myself other than these frames. However, for this purpose, for a classroom project, for what might be a temporary frame, and for this very lightweight mosaic, I find them perfectly acceptable. Now, how have I attached my frame to my Ouija substrate in a way that doesn't make it permanent? I've used Velcro strips all the way around, and it's in there because it's not very heavy. It's very stable, and I'm really comfortable with that being a secure option. This one over here, it's the same size, but this is on 1/4" masonite. That's the material I did decide upon for my class, painted black and attached with Velcro. So Velcro is a handy little option for a lightweight mosaic if you don't want it to be permanent, but you want it to be pretty secure. Velcro is really very strong. Here's another little example of a 3" by 3" mosaic, and this is just a regular photo frame. This is black matte material that my framer gave me, that's used for picture framing. And I've attached this little mosaic to the matte material with Velcro. And this is 1/2" Ouija board that this was on. So that worked out very nicely. Again, a photo frame, some matte material, and some Velcro. This is a very old piece I did, gosh, I don't know when, in the early 2000s. And I took it into my framer to have a decorative frame on it, and nothing wrong with that, although it gets pretty expensive, but it's really nice and neat, and the back looks great. These kind of frames will cover up the outside edge of the mosaic. I think I worked around that by leaving some space there. But that's a nice option. This was on, this is on cement board, 1/4 inch Hardy Backer cement board. And very nice, you know, to put a decorative frame on it. Nothing wrong with that. It's just expensive, unless you can do it all yourself, which would be great. So this 1/4 inch masonite, this Velcro works fine for this because it's lightweight. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with the 1/4 inch Hardy Backer board using Velcro. So with that, I would recommend doing something different. So I talked about how I, over the years, have gotten away from permanently attaching the frame to the work, and with Weedy board, how do I do that? And it's the same thing you can do with something like Hardy Backer, or even with 1/4 inch masonite. And what I do today, as a rule, is I use a washer of some type. These are Curdy washers, which I'm very happy I found. They don't have the lip that Weedy washers have, and that I don't think is necessary. And they're a little stronger. They puncture through the Weedy board much easier than the Weedy washers do. So they feel a little stronger, but either one will do. Even regular washers will work, although these are more flush when you get them in. So Weedy washers with bolts that go all the way through to this wood frame that I've created and secured with nuts. I'll paint the whole thing when it's finished. I can attach a frame to this or not, and to the frame I can attach the hanging hardware, or I can attach the hanging hardware here. I just finished a large mosaic about 3 feet by 3 feet, and it was a custom mosaic for my daughter, and she wanted a minimal profile frame, and she chose a black metal floater frame. At 3 feet by 3 feet, those metal pieces of the frame, well, it doesn't feel really secure. It's a little bit flimsy, I felt. And I didn't feel comfortable attaching the hanging hardware to that frame. So I attached the hanging hardware to the wood frame, and then mounted this in the floater frame. So that floater frame is purely decorative and doesn't carry the weight of the mosaic. But the wood frame that I put on, I was very comfortable that would carry the weight of the mosaic. And for larger works, I will also glue this in addition to bolting it. So as a rule, this is what I do today. Secure the Weedy all the way through to the back, to a frame, and then I just have a lot of flexibility for framing, not framing, and how to hang it. So I hope I've given you some ideas about how to handle some of these tricky substrates. And if you're interested in not permanently marrying your artwork to a frame. So thanks for joining me today, and until next time, ciao.